Hello, hello, Cadaques. Hello to all of you. We were supposed to move on today, but the Phantom insisted that I should do another a day focusing on the light because he says that he really likes that one, that it gives him a sense of peace, and that maybe I should spend one more day doing a combination of him and the Wall of Decadence and the light. You see, these two paintings took me a period just in painting time. You will have to add an extra 2 years because this one was created in Andalusia and then sent to England, and it was only 2 years later that I was able to work on it. So this one was 10 years in creation, and this one was about 7 years in creation. This one is, let's say, 9 years of drawing and painting, and this one is, I started it between its starting point and its finishing point. It was about the same, but it was put on hold because I had to finish this one. So this one, calculated, took me 3 years. So you've got 10 years here and 3 years here. You've got 13 years of my life in these two paintings. As you know, when I started this one, I was living in Andalusia. I was relatively younger, and I was very alone. I was very alone because I was in a very bad marriage, and my art was my only salvation. And when I say it is the story of one who was born in the darkness and has struggled to become one with the light, it is one artist plunging into the abyss of her soul, to the deepest darkness, darkest aspects of her own being, to try and find her own pure light. It can be, to some, considered genius, and to others it could be considered magic. And so it can be madness. Not magic, madness. Magic, madness. And so the darkness that I'm referring to in this painting, when I say that you have to conquer the darkness, is my accumulated the darkness in my soul through different weaknesses in my lifetime, my soul's journey, and how when I was born, I always considered this to be a punishment lifetime from a very early age. I am not afraid to die, I am afraid to come back. Yeah. And so I figured that I had already completed my mission in the last lifetime, that I had completed all my lifetimes. But apparently there was still some dark stains on my soul that had to be cleared. And the dark stains that are in my soul have to do with the she-devil, with this dark force that has always been very akin to me, and which in a very early age gave me some supernatural strength. And seeing as I never wanted to indulge into that dark magic, that I refused it adamantly, that I wanted to struggle and to try, my magic was, my natural magic is a dark magic. I have very dark powers, but I never wanted to indulge in them for any personal gain, and I never wanted to use them for anything. I am a person who doesn't even allow myself to get angry because I'm afraid of what might happen to the people that I get angry with. And so the darkness that I was trying to shed some light upon was that dark entity within my own self. I had to find a way to turn things around and to be able to somehow use the connection with those dark entities to become a messenger of the light. And it was a very trying and difficult time. It was very solitary. There was times when I felt like I was going insane. But the overall message in this painting is that one can change the karmic energy of their own soul. Even if from lifetimes gone by your soul has a dark nature, you can always, with a few steps, you can always purify your nature to become one that is closer to the light. It all has to do with your understanding of your own self and of your own proper light. And so I was living in Andalusia when I started this. And then I went and I put it on hold for 2 years. And when I came back, what represents purgatory was all the people that were important to me in my life when I came back to Montreal. It felt like purgatory because I felt like I had failed on what it was that I wanted to do. But it's got a lot to do with my personal growth throughout the workings with the sibling tree. And so on the second code of doing this, the purgatory and finding all these demons in there and having to every night conquer what it was that these demons were trying to explain to me, I did slowly but surely get closer and closer to the light. Of course, I could not have done it without my soulmate Lenny. Whenever it started to become too much for me and I just couldn't continue, well, my Lenny was always there to flash his big blue eyes at me, give me a smile and a kiss, and bring me back to reality. He was an anchor that I miss with all of my soul. I know he is still with me, but it is not the same. And so my opening the hole for the light to come into my own existence and to give birth to this hermaphrodite tree which grows and then falls into the light. Yes, where I present you this amazing circle of brilliant, shining light. The journey in painting, the time in painting was 12 years, but the overall commitment for the two of them it was 12, 13 years, the commitment. But it was a commitment of me, myself, understanding every day with each entity that I was painting, getting a closer understanding of myself and bringing myself closer and closer to this ominous light that I was so desperately searching for. That's why I connected with the hand and with her falling into the light. And this whole passage over here with excuse me, darling, with the Battle of Hell, the House of Death, and the Caves of Death, and the Forces of the Gods, and the Pillar of Inner Strength, and the creation of the whole, and the hermaphrodite tree that brings you into the light. When you look at the light, you get a feeling of peace, you get a feeling of one with it. And the most precious part of the painting is right over here. This is where Lenny and I and the universal painter look back on the creation with happiness and joy, proud. It's like this is telling me that the gods are proud of what I've done, that I have accomplished my mission with these two paintings. These are the stars of the collection. Yes, and so are you happy with that, Ali? Yeah, I know. Well, the light, this woman, she had the Magdalena Penitente, it's time for her to get up and go through this archway to to the rainbow bridge, take the rainbow bridge to a higher consciousness. And so this figure over here, the one I was telling you about, this one that appeared, here's one eye, here's his face, here's one eye, here's the other eye, here's his nose, here's his mouth, and here is the hair on his chin. And when I saw this years after the painting had been finished, but I knew immediately that it was related to the soul of the painting, to the universal painter. And so that's why over here, when I painted the God looking back in joy, or in awe, or in happy. He's just happy. When he's looking back happy, that's why I put a beard on him, because I wanted the two of them to be representing the accumulated artwork, one on each side. Yes? And so, I'm not sure if I've found the light with this work, but I do know that I have become a lot closer to it. And I'm trying to find excerpts to read from you from my book, but it's very difficult because there's always referrals to other things that happened before. So the book really, I'm going to have to put it in order, and I'm going to have to get it published so that anyone that is interested can follow the whole story. Because over here, in the third coat, when I was painting this part here, why are you lying down? Aren't you interested in what I'm telling you? You see, in this part of the painting here, this is when Lenny was dying. This is all the part that I took when Lenny was dying. And this is why I needed so much. This is why I needed so much internal strength to be able to overcome all this burden, and to find myself swimming in the waters of the ancestors, and to take that rainbow bridge to a higher consciousness, which would eventually bring me to the light. So I did this little one for you. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. And so I'm going to do one more reading from my book, one reading that I found today that I enjoy for this. And then we are going to finalize, this finalizes the presentation of these two paintings, him and the Wall of Darkness and the Light. Not the Wall of Darkness, the Wall of Decadence and the Light. Alright, so do you want to lie down? Are you tired? Are you feeling okay, Cadaques? Yeah? Are you? Okay then. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the presentation of these two paintings. They were a major feat in my life, and bringing them to Cadaques was an accomplishment I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do. But I found the inner strength to do it, and living here has brought me closer to the light. And it was a feat I thought that I would never accomplish.